Hi, everyone. Today I've got someone so special to be with me, and that's Jacqueline Daly. So, as I mentioned in my intro, it's absolute privilege to have Jacqueline here with me right now, and I've known her for many years, and this is the first chance we'd be able to have a great conversation with each other. So, Jacqueline, welcome to Conversations. It's great to see you.
Thanks for having me. I think we met maybe 10 years ago when I started at Dynadot. So it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I was trying to remember, was that at a traffic conference or something like that?
I believe so. I think Traffic was my first conference. I started in 2010. So I think it was Miami Traffic. So
Miami Traffic. That's where I learned the joys of a mojito.
That's a very important lesson to learn.
It's a very important lesson, that's for sure. Yeah, so I must admit, so we bumped into each other in 2010 or thereabouts. And so how on earth did you get into this industry? What's a bit about your background? Because I'm sure people love to know, who is Jacqueline Daly?
I kind of stumbled on it. So I had gone to college out at the University of Minnesota. I'm originally from the Midwest. And I would spend my summers out in San Francisco with my aunt and uncle. And I knew that I wanted to move to San Francisco, be a part of the tech scene, Silicon Valley, that whole fast-paced life.
Yeah.
And, I had moved out there for a few different interviews, and one of them was with Dynadot. And I had really didn't know much about the domain industry at all at that point. But I really connected with Todd and the company and the mission. And, wanting to be in tech, the internet is basically the heart of it. And so I decided to accept the job offer, and I started it. And here, over 10 years later, I'm still here. I think it's an industry that just sucks you in.
Yeah, I think you jumped forward a few years. Do you mind me asking, so what did you actually study in Minnesota?
I studied marketing. So I kind of stayed in my role. So I started as a marketing associate at Dynadot, and now I'm our VP of marketing. And so I actually stuck with what I studied in school, which is
so unusual.
Yeah.
Exactly. So when you studied in the school and you're there traveling to Silicon Valley each summer, you're saying, what was that like? What really attracted you to San Francisco?
I think overall, just the people and just the culture. There's just an energy there that I loved. Everyone was there trying to create something cool, or just be the next Bill Gates or whoever. But it was fun because people were just very driven there, hardworking, really smart. So you could go out, and especially being a young person moving to a new city, being able to chat with someone and have a really interesting conversation. It was a great place to start my career.
Oh, absolutely. Particularly, so when did you actually get to Silicon Valley? Was it in 2010?
Yes, it was.
So it was in 2010. Yeah. So you arrive in Silicon Valley, and you're saying to yourself, I need to go and get a job. And you knock on Dynadot's door. Dynadot must have been a really small business then.
Yeah, when I started, there were 6 of us. So it was a little tiny office. It was mainly engineers. So it was very quiet.
Is it the same place you're at now?
Yeah, it actually is the same office building. It's grown from where we started, but now we have a couple of other offices in other locations. But the same office that I started in is still there.
I must admit, in one of my journeys around the world, I had a chance to go down to your offices. And just for people who don't know, when you go to the Dynadot office, you're expecting sort of like a glass monolith and modern building and all that sort of stuff. It's the complete reverse of that. It has got so much character. You go into the elevator, you think, is this going to actually work or not? Because it's got like one of those old sliding doors and everything like that. And I think the building must have been built like 100 years ago. It's just, it's amazing. It's got so much character. And you go into the Dynadot offices, and I'm not sure if you changed it since I've been there last, but let me tell you, it is awesome. I just love it. Like you look, it's almost like walking down a hallway and you look into different rooms and there's just people busily working away and everything like that. And then one of the friendly four-legged guys comes up. That's one of the dogs comes up and says hi. And I'm thinking, this is like a great big happy family. And you've got like everyone just working towards a common goal. Is it still like that?
Yeah, I would say it's still very similar. It's it definitely has like that startup mentality. So we have separate rooms with open workspaces, like you said, a dog-friendly office. So it's meant to like add value to all the collaboration that we do. So there's whiteboards everywhere that always have people writing on it. Nowadays, the office is empty, so that's definitely been a big transition for us. But you know, I think we've adjusted and have gotten used to work from home life. And I don't know about the other coworkers, but I'm definitely looking forward to going back to the office and seeing everyone, because it's just a bit more special that way.
Like in my journeys around the world, I've been to, probably like yourself, been to so many different offices, and the Dynadot one always stands out. It really does. Like in a positive sense, it really does. You get a sense of energy, of real like people doing things and doing things that are meaningful versus pushing a piece of paper from one desk to another. Like they're really doing things which are meaningful. And I said before, it's like a sense of family in there. And I must admit, when I left your offices, I called up my business partner. I said, I just been to Dynadot's offices, and let me tell you, they're awesome. Like they're just.
Well, you have to come back when the world is back to normal.
Oh yeah. So speaking of which, so last year, probably like you were at NamesCon last year.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was at NamesCon. That's right. Todd was there too. And I believe Todd would love to be able to jump on this call, but he can't because he's taking some time off. So when he's playing, the rest of them have to work. But anyway, so I'm not sure if you realize that I was actually on an around the world journey. I'd gone from Melbourne to Dubai to Frankfurt to Cologne to London to Washington to Austin, Texas. So I get to Austin, Texas, and I'm thinking the world's a great place and everything. I'm seeing all my friends there at the conference. It's just awesome. So I imagine you've got a whole lot of friends there too.
Yeah, I actually, right before NamesCon, I had just moved to Austin, Texas.
Oh, wow.
So this is the first time
I never realized that.
Travel. Yeah, okay. So I'm actually in Austin right now, but this was the first time I didn't have to travel for a conference. I could run home if I needed to. So it was a different experience.
I am so jealous. Like I did, I don't know how many 30,000 miles or something like that.
Yeah, I did the exact opposite. I think I did 10 miles from my house
exactly.
to the hotel.
Yeah, so there we are. So I remember going there, and we're hearing about this bug, and I'm thinking it's whatever. Don't worry about it. This virus, it'll be fine. Like it'll just go away, like all the others did. And so then people began to wear masks. I saw on the plane. I'm getting a bit worried. Remember Jackson Elsegood from escrow.com, and he was wearing like a proper great big mask. I'm thinking, is that over the top? Like hindsight is he's probably one of the smart ones. Yeah. And so then I head back home, and I got just back home before essentially Australia closed its borders. And it was like, wow, that was pretty tight. But yeah, so I haven't traveled since then. Have you done any real travel for work or anything like that?
No, the last conference that I went to was NamesCon here. We did sponsor an event that was in the Bay Area. that was in early February, but I think that was right before things kind of shut down. And a couple weeks later, everyone was working from home. So it's been a very quiet year for travel, which is a little odd for this, for the domain industry with all the different conferences around the world. But it's been nice to be at home as well. I think I'm ready for travel again, but it's been nice to have a little break from it all.
So do you miss that whole experience of going through the security checks and everything like that, to sit into a little tiny seat crammed onto a I call it a germ tube that flies through the air?
You know,
you miss that
I didn't
experience?
think I'd miss that, but I do. I really do.
I do as well. I do miss that. I'm thinking, I just want to fly somewhere. I don't care where it is. I just want to just do that.
Exactly. I think, you know, being part of on the plane is not the best part, but I think that's the start of the excitement of it all. Especially for work trips, being in this industry, we've made so many friends over the years. So yeah. I get excited to see everyone for our, you know, whatever it is, quarterly meetup. And so I always look forward to that. Hopefully, you know, come in a day early maybe and catch up with some old friends over drinks before we start the crazy week. But it's always exciting.
Yeah, I must admit, I really miss seeing my friends.
Yeah.
From around the world. Like, you can do Zoom calls and everything like this, for that matter, and they're great. But there's nothing like sitting down and having a meal with someone, or a group of people, or just sharing about some crazy things happening in your life and that sort of stuff, or stupid things happening in our industry, and all that sort of thing. And you're just having a really good time. I remember on the last night of a conference, I tend to go along, get together with a group of friends, and there's one rule: no one talks business. And we don't talk business. And if you want to do business, that's okay, but you need to step out of the room or something like that. And that's fine to do that, but you got to step out.
That's a good rule, I think.
Yeah, just on the last night of the conference. And so we're there for each other. And it's great doing that, I must admit. I really get like getting to know people. And now, like yourself, I got friends all around the world.
Yeah, it's amazing. I think that's something that's so special about the domain industry, is just the people in it. And, you know, a lot of times you see the same people at the events. They may be at different companies, but it's always familiar faces. And then when you're new to the industry, I think people are also very welcoming. So I know when I went to my first conference, I was a little nervous, and I was able to meet a lot of great people. And so after that, it was a lot smoother of an experience. But I think I definitely miss that part of my job.
Yeah, that's true. So in marketing, your role as marketing VP of marketing at Dynadot. So what's some things you can tell us that, like, why is Dynadot such an awesome registrar?
You know, I think the number one thing that draws people to Dynadot is the team. I think, you know, we really listen to our customers and we build custom features for them. It's two things. It's our team and then also the technology behind it. So the core of our team is engineering. We have a ton of engineers. Todd is an engineer himself. And so we really pride ourselves on that technical excellence. And on top of that, it's our team. We try to be really responsive and listen to the customers and build what they're asking for. Because, you know, at the end of the day, we're not domain investors, we're not bloggers or small business owners. So we don't really know what you need until you tell us. So we make a really conscious effort to take that feedback and actually implement it. So I think, I feel like that's our magic sauce. It's pretty simple, but it's just to listen and to build good stuff.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I'm a developer as well. I'm an engineer. So I say to people, I have a Bachelor of Science in Electronics Computer Science and an MBA. So I love technology, but show me the money.
Yeah.
so 2 degrees. But I can't help it when I see something which I I see something and I think of technology and I go, wow. And there's a lot of wow factors, I must admit, with Dynadot. Like, I must admit, we moved a whole lot of domains across to Dynadot and everything like that. And it's a very intuitive interface.
Yeah, I think, we put a lot of work into not only building the products, but designing them. Our design team works really closely with engineering to not only make it look beautiful, but make it efficient, try to make things fast. And we get a lot of feedback from our customers as well. So it's a process. And like I said, in the office and now virtually, there's a lot of collaboration that goes on. So we try not to be too siloed when it comes to our different products and services and teams. So we can actually get input from everything to make it, come out the way that it should.
Yeah, that's a challenge to do that, though, isn't it? Like you say it so simply, but in this environment, like a fast-paced, moving internet sort of environment, for a company to be, well, around as long as you guys, which is great, but also for a company to maintain that edge, that's quite difficult to do. Is it some of the things that's just the culture that Todd, as the CEO, has really developed there, or you as the team has developed? Yeah.
I think it's both. I think, Todd really encourages us to be collaborative and also speak up. That everyone has a voice, I think. And I don't just say that. It is everyone from, whether they're a CS agent saying, hey, like, I've had 3 complaints about this, someone needs to fix it now, to an engineer saying, hey, I think we should, refactor this code because it shouldn't be working this way. So it's that open conversation that we have constantly. We use Slack, and Slack goes off all day because there's just so much communication now that's happening online. And that, it was a little difficult at first to adjust to that only online mode of communication, but I think we've adapted, and it's it's a work in progress too, because we're a year into this and there's still things we're figuring out, but it gets easier as time goes on.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I must admit, like, the last time I traveled was to NamesCon, but also we work in a completely distributed environment with all of our staff here at ParkLogic. And you're the same now with Dynadot. Like, you can't go to the office. You can't do that. And so we're constantly on Skype, on Messenger, on Dropbox, like just all these different online technologies. And it's been interesting to see how to maintain that cohesion of team. We actually have a Thursday event. It's called Water Cooler. Every Thursday, we get together a team in Zoom, and we just share what's happened in the last week. And one of the guys, quite often, he has his background is actually a picture of a water cooler. It's a photo of a water cooler. And it's really quite funny. But yeah, so it's sort of like that moment where you bump into someone when you're getting a cup of water or something like that, and you're just talking to them, you go, oh, I didn't know you're working on that. It's that sort of time. And that's really helped our team. Do you have that sort of thing as well, or?
Yeah, so we do lunches. So we used to do catered lunch where we'd all have lunch together, but now we do it virtually, which we break up into smaller groups and have our Zoom lunches together, which is great for collaboration, but it's not so great for your self-esteem when you watch yourself like eat a burrito in front of everyone on camera. But it's been a really good experience for our team to connect, and also each week you're with a different group, so you get to talk to other people from different departments or different offices that you might not normally work with on a day-to-day basis. So we shuffle around the groups each week, and have that time to get some small group time with the different employees across the different departments.
Um, that's great. Yeah, it's one of the challenges with business nowadays, how to do that whole virtual thing. So just looking at the industry right now, where do you see the future of the domain industry is from an investor's perspective, or even from your registrar view as well? Like, what do you see that is on the horizon that you think, gee, there's a real opportunity there, or something like that?
I think the biggest thing is just internationalization. I think just the growth of the internet
Yeah.
globally is it. We're seeing it as a registrar with our customers growing from countries all around the world, and so I think just continuing to see that access, we're going to see more online businesses come online, or just more domains getting registered, whether they're investors or they're trying to monetize them or start a blog or be the next YouTube star. I think just that global growth has been the biggest thing that we've noticed.
Yeah,
and I think that's been a big focus of ours is internationalizing our website. So offering other currencies as well as translating our site in different languages to make it more accessible for people around the world.
Yeah, it's an interesting thought you said there, like that whole internationalization and everything. I must admit, I think that the country codes and the international market is still in its infancy. It really is for some of those countries, and massive populations in some of them too, which will be wanting to get domains and that sort of stuff.
Yes, definitely. I think, even there's huge countries like India, .in. I feel like there's a lot of growth there, and we're just starting to see just the beginnings of what the internet and what business on the internet is going to be in a country like that with a population of that size.
What do they say? There's more millionaires in India than there is in the United States.
Oh, is there? I didn't know that, but I definitely believe it.
Yeah, there's a great disparity between the rich and poor, but so India I think is an amazing opportunity for domain investors. It really is. One of the things I'd always look for is, from an investment perspective, is size of population and also penetration of credit cards. And if there's a large penetration of credit cards, that means you can conduct business online. A lot of that's changed now, because now you've got PayPal or Alipay and all those sort of companies. That's changed. But you basically want to look for that transactional process, which is definitely not just in cash. Yeah. Exactly.
I think, and also there are new services that help people that just have access to cash. So we recently added a payment gateway that customers can use cash, and then they can use it to, so it's for certain currencies. But I think that access to currency online is something that's also going to continue to expand.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. It's I know ParkLogic, we've added a whole lot of different ways of paying and all that sort of stuff as well. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the future. But anyway, let me tell you, is there anything else you want to add or anything like that?
No, I think this was a great experience. Thank you for having me. And I just think the key takeaway about Dynadot is we're here and we want to get your feedback. So reach out to the team. You can reach out to me personally. We're always open to ideas and getting feedback. So let me know.
Yeah, not a problem. And can I just say, it's been an absolute pleasure talking with yourself, and really have enjoyed our conversation. And I'll put this up on my blog shortly.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Michael.
Take care. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I hope you enjoyed that video and you find them really valuable for your business and helping you make better decisions. Don't forget to like, subscribe, or pass the video on to your friends. Anyway, thanks a lot for that. Have a great day. Bye.